cell, but he also mentions that the walls are like made of dry spit, he says, as this kind of funny little metaphor or whatever. And so he knows
they were like good thing for me, like we can't afford real walls down here.
Yeah, exactly. He's like advantageous for me, and then escapes. And so I love those two little details on that scene as well.
Yeah, one thing I really like that Sollima does specifically in the scripts that he writes with Donati is that he really loves these digressions into side characters and locations where he kind of carves out different modes of living that all intersect violently into these, sort of investigations of kind of law and corruption and, things that he's trying to get at thematically. In Gundown specifically, you have a couple different digressions, and it's why also each of his films has a longer cut and kind of like a cut that they trim down.
Yeah,
the stuff that they always trimmed.
Did you do the 110-minute, 95-minute US extension?
I did the theatrical for Big Gundown again, the extended American cut that put some of those scenes back in.
Yeah, it was like 95 minutes or something like that. That's the one I watched, I think.
But I have seen the other version. So I've seen both, and mostly what it does is it does just kind of extend some of these scenes and characters and conversations that he has. Like there's one where there's like the Mormon nomads who he comes across, who Sanchez is trying to hide out with. And, there is a part that's meant to be played suspenseful because at that point in the film, he still thinks that this guy is like a rapist. Mm-hmm. And he's like playing in the water with like a young Mormon girl being like, what pretty feet you have, miss, and like that kind of, and like, so like Corbett, and there's like this great, shot of him like watching behind the tall grass where the camera is like from his point of view and stuff like that. But he always uses it as an opportunity to kind of explore more of, the morality of this world. And one of the great examples is when he, Sanchez escapes, and because the Mormon girl actually shoots him in the back of the shoulder essentially, and he wakes up and he goes, well, thank God I got here before your daughter was hurt. And the Mormon guy goes, Sarah is actually my fourth wife. And like she's very clearly too young to be someone's wife. So like here he is like chummy with this pedophile. Right. But here he is also hunting someone else down, the Mexican character, for essentially doing, something similar. So it's just he loves those little digressions like that. And there's also a really big one that takes place at the the farm with the sort of like seductive mistress who lives there, and there's like a great bull wrangling scene which looks real. It looks scary as fuck. Actually,
it looks exactly like what we've seen in the Jackass movies. Like it's straight up a guy
a dude just gets
getting
fucking
taken out by a bull a couple times. It's definitely a stunt man. It looked like a guy that actually gets smacked around, and he does the full flip circle that Knoxville does in the new one and everything. It's a wild sequence. I also like that it takes him a long time to pull it off, but he never gives up. And then when he finally pulls it off, he does this like awesome little jump and pull up move to trick the bull, and then he drop kicks the wooden door as just like a fuck you, like I did it kind of thing. I really like that, just showing his kind of determination. We've seen him do all of these silly things, but it does show that he is a determined character and someone that will kind of figure out whatever situation that they're in. He's a hard worker in his own way. I also wanted to mention, I was a little confused by just one moment in the scene where he's playing in the water with the girl. At one point he throws a knife and Corbett shoots it in the air. Was he throwing the knife at the girl? I was confused by that. What was he throwing it at?
I thought he was throwing it at Corbett.
Oh, okay, I got you. And then the confusion happened with the girl thinking that Corbett was going after Sanchez, and then gotcha.
Yes,
gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. Because that's one thing about Sanchez is he's actually better with a knife than he is with a gun. But that's actually a really great action beat and an example of some of the actual just really solid action direction in this film, which is not there are obviously great shootouts in all kinds of westerns and spaghetti westerns, but it was something that for me, The Big Gundown is one of, I don't know if it's just something about the way that it's paced and how well shot they are, but there is something really great about like just specifically the set pieces in Selima, like having a beat like that where he throws a knife and you reveal that about his character. And then Corbett is so fast, he shoots it out of the air and you see that.
Yeah.
And like that's obviously a great beat. But then there's also one that takes place on the farm when he arrives at the farm, because basically he arrives there and Sanchez is essentially has been enslaved on this farm. He is like both there to work and also being used as like for sex by the mistress and everything like that. And he's being like whipped and tortured and like covered in mud. And Corbett basically arrives there and he's like, okay, well, this isn't right. Like I am planning to basically take this guy back and punish him and probably execute this guy, but this isn't what that is supposed to look like. I wouldn't let anyone like live this way. So he like wordlessly shows up to be like, I'm gonna take this guy away.
Yeah.
And also he gets a little bit of, a realization that the other characters who operate like him don't operate on the same codes, and they literally go, actually he belongs to us. And they go, well, he's wanted by the law. And he's just like, well, in this land there ain't no law but the bullets in our guns. Is what they say.
And then Corbett promptly shows them that his bullets are much faster.
Yeah, that's not what you want to say to Lee Van Cleef, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, no, and the gunfight is just spectacular of him inside the house against all of them, and he's just like he's firing through the windows.